All right, this is a quick video for the Big Lebowski. I wanted to clone my computer and hard drive, so I have a spare. And I won't walk you through the details. You can contact me if you have a question, but what I purchased was the ASRock Q1900B-ITX. This was the other version. In the machine is a Q1900-ITX. And so I haven't installed it in my machine, but I have a desktop setup here. And what I did is used a program called CloneZilla here. And you can see the settings I chose there. And I saved that just to local directories. I just called it CloneZilla and USB Creator. That's the second application. And the second application I used here was called Yummy. There's a couple different ones, and you can see here, and I went and downloaded it. And it doesn't install anything in your hard drive. It just fires off a quick application that basically, in the end, takes CloneZilla and creates a USB bootable drive for you. And so the other thing is in this motherboard here, I had to replicate the settings in the BIOS by just, if you will, paging through this setup in my office here with the setup on the machine, and made sure there was duplication. I think there's one key setting that says on AC power loss you have to turn it on, and the reason is when you flip the machine on, it's kind of like AC power loss. It turns the machine on. In addition to that, I use CloneZilla to clone the Big Lebowski hard drive onto a new Kingston hard drive. They don't make the 30 gigabyte anymore, and this is 120 gigabyte. The only issue I ran into is while using CloneZilla on here, when it came up on my screen, is that I got a couple errors, and reading about them real quick, bypassed them on my main computer over there, reading through it, and then proceeded to clone from one drive to the other. The only thing that was of concern to me is when I went to clone from the Big Lebowski hard drive to the Kingston, it gave me an error saying the disk label was unrecognized. And I think the reason it did is because I've never formatted this hard drive called Kingston here. It was brand new. Anyway, I proceeded ahead to clone. I cloned it, unhooked, as you can see, the Big Lebowski hard drive. That's just the power cable. And I plugged in the power and SATA cable here and booted up. And this is what I got. P3 Rock not found, which is understandable because this is in my office and not in the machine. The Big Lebowski, my next step is to plug this into the machine. I'll plug my new computer, power supply, audio boards that we purchased along with this hard drive, and run the machine off of all these spares. My assumption is if I got to this point, it will all work, but you never know. So we'll have to see that the audio board works and P-Rock recognizes everything. But if it does, I've got a complete duplication of the CPU, which are the basically the computer setup that's in the Big Lebowski, including the hard drive. So that's a huge step forward for long-term support of this machine.